Hey everyone, I'm Ryan. Welcome back to my channel. And welcome to 2020. I really wish I could make a, New Year, New Me 2020 video like some YouTube channels do. But I can't because I don't believe in that kind of stuff. Because and the only reason I say that is because I just think, and this is not like a new thought, but you shouldn't need to use the new year for a new you. If you want a new you could have started last week, you could have started last month, you could start tomorrow, you could start today. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't need an excuse to start a new you if you want to start a new you. It's not exactly like it's the first right now or anything. It's like the 6th, I think. So I'm a little late anyways, but I would say if I had a goal though, my goal would be to focus on my podcast with my brother. So Knights of the Pageless Library, please go check that out. But yeah, so but I want to say Happy New Year to everyone. We'll see what 2020 brings. A lot of people said 2019 was a very shitty year. A lot of people said 2018 was shitty. 2017, and just seems to be very reoccurring. A lot of negativity, I think, kind of flying around. Everybody's just been negative about that kind of stuff, and I didn't think 2019 was that bad. It seemed like it kind of drug out, like it was kind of long. I don't necessarily know if that's a bad thing. I don't know. It feels like maybe all this negativity too is coming to, like, there's a big change coming, like an overall change for everything. Maybe, I don't know. I'd like to actually think there was, though. I think there needs to be a big change. A couple videos back I talked about consumerism and the way it affects us, and how I think it's very detrimental to us as a society, and I don't think that anything's going to change until we can climb out of that hole that we've dug ourselves in. And it's a deep hole. Don't get me wrong, we are in trouble. I mean, none of that was made more blatantly obvious to me than when I had to switch cell phone plans this last week, and it's really bad when there's 5 different plans to choose from, all claiming unlimited, but they throttle you. So like if you wanted, just the basic unlimited, well, you can have unlimited, you have unlimited data, but they throttle you to, you can only stream content at 720, stuff like that. And then if you want better streaming quality or whatever, you have to go up in unlimited and pay more. Of course you have to pay more. That's the way the wheels turn, with how our society works. Headphones are not charging. I'm on my way to the gym, so I would like my headphones to be charged when I get there. Man, it's like snowy and nice out. Well, I think it's nice. I like when it snows. We had no snow for Christmas here, unfortunately. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. I hope you got everything you wanted from Santa Claus. Everything that you wanted. I do hope, though, this is probably not this video is just going to be all over the place. I'm sorry, everybody. There's a goal for me. Sort my shit out and just talk about one subject. Make it short, quick, and to the point. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear me rant and rave every time I make a video. I really do. I have like 6 videos queued up on my computer that just need uploaded. Unfortunately, my internet at my house is so slow that even like a 10-minute video takes 3.5 hours to upload. They're all rendered and everything, and I clipped them all together if they needed to be, and I edited them if they needed to be. But yeah, I just 3.5 hours to upload, and then while it's uploading, it also kind of drags everything else in my house down, so it's hard for somebody else to like watch TV or do anything while a video's uploading. So that's very irritating. I asked Santa Claus for better internet. He didn't bring it to me. He brought my kids what they wanted though, so that was good. That's kind of what I was going to talk about though, is that at my house, we decided that, we didn't really get our kids a whole lot. Mostly just a couple things that a couple things for them to share. Each of them then got a couple little things for, individually. And then the rest of the stuff, though, came from my parents and my wife's parents and their aunts and uncles apparently all thought they needed to get them something, and we keep trying to ask people actually to not get our kids stuff, because the people who get our kids stuff, they're not the ones who have to pick up the toys every day at the end of the day. And our kids love to drag the toys out all over the house. And I don't even have to do it as much as my wife does. Kind of goes along with this consumerism thing though, is it's like people, I don't want to say this and people think I'm not grateful, that my kids have so many people that love them and want to buy them things. And I know there's people who can't afford things for their kids, and I don't want that to turn into this. I'm not complaining about, it's very much so a first world problem. I know that. I got it. I'm not that naive to think that ain't what I'm complaining about, and that what I'm complaining about is very silly. I know that too. But we would rather just, people get, if they want to get our kids something, pick out like one thing that's good for them. We like when people get them puzzles and books, or we like the toys kind of made out of wood because they last a lot longer. We try to tell people, don't buy the cheap stuff. Don't buy the cheapest possible thing you can just because you're going for a quantity of toys over quality toys. If you want to get our kids toys, fine. I mean, rightfully so. They're little, so that's all they can use still. But yeah, we would prefer the quality stuff though over quantity, because it kind of goes along with the consumerism thing. You just buying, and you think you can buy somebody's love and affection with toys. Well, all it did is confuse the shit out of my kids, because they got so much stuff that even like 5 days later, my oldest one is like, when are we going to open presents again? And that, I know he'll understand more as he grows up. But we definitely didn't want that to happen this year, because this year was the first year he really understood Christmas. He was really looking forward to it. He was really excited. My youngest one, he didn't even want to open presents. He just wanted to check out whatever my oldest one opened. But I would say it's not a bad takeaway for anybody, especially if you have young kids. Like, I know when we lived in Michigan and my wife was working with a couple other people, they were talking about buying like their 6-year-old, I think, an iPad for like Easter. Like, oh my gosh, what? Now again, I've made a video about minimalism, and I've made a video about consumerism, being opposite ends of the spectrum. Obviously, minimalists try to not buy Well, and I think there's a difference between like being minimalist and being completely frugal. We'll get into that maybe in a different video. And then consumerist, obviously, it's a spectrum, obviously, too. I like to think I find myself somewhere in the middle. I like to have things. I like to buy things. I like to buy tools. I like to buy, things that I get a lot of use out of. Things I don't spend my money on, though. This car is a 99, and I will drive it till it quits. I don't feel like I need a car payment. I don't need expensive car insurance because I have an expensive car or a sporty car or something like that. And I know people who they lease a vehicle, and then 2 months later, 3 months later, they're trading it in for something different, something newer, or a year. Or even worse, they pay it off and then they immediately trade it in on something different. That it just doesn't make sense to me. And I know a lot of people like the excuse of, well, it's cheaper, if you have a new car because then the oil changes are free and all this stuff, and there's less maintenance on a new car and stuff. And that might be true. It might be. I wouldn't know. I've never owned a new car. If it is, please leave a comment and let me know. I change my own oil in my car and stuff, and I know not everybody can do that. And that's fine. That is an acceptable complaint. I had the oil changed in my work truck the other day, and it ain't nothing special. It's a freaking Chevy 3500 pickup, and it cost over $100 to have the oil changed. Yikes. I mean, I wouldn't want to be paying that, either. I push the oil changes out on my vehicles a little longer than I probably should. I go over 3,000, obviously. I also use real oil, and I use thick oil for my older car. My wife's car, she also has a used car, 2002. So we're not about. That's not where we spend our money. I'm getting off on a tangent. That's not where we choose to spend our money. And if people choose to spend their money there, that's fine. I just think striking that balance between consumerism and full minimalism, because I'm not naive enough to think that we could all be minimalists and have this country still be what it is, because we can't. Again, topics for all other videos, but the money has to be there. The money has to go around to create this lifestyle that we've been able to create in America. I'm not saying it's a necessary lifestyle either. It could be far more simplistic than it is. It's basically a machine that's kind of gotten away from us, I feel like, in a lot of ways. I just think striking a balance, though, is important. So if you have a goal for 2020, it's find that balance. If you find yourself, if you just bought a brand new iPhone 11, and when the iPhone 12, Pearl, or Red and Blue, or whatever they choose to call it, when that phone comes out, you find yourself in line to buy a new one, evaluate that. Is that necessary? Is it necessary to, if you just bought a new phone and there's nothing wrong with it and you spent $1,200 on it, is it necessary to buy another one already a year later? For some people, apparently it is, because there's always a line for a new iPhone. When I switched phone plans, I bought me a new phone. I got this on Amazon for $200 because I refuse to feed into the Samsung iPhone competition. Essentially, they are basically the two competing phones right now, or companies, I should say. And everybody thinks that they need one, and I don't like to feed into that kind of stuff, because I feel like while the competition is healthy That's also what drives the prices sky high. You know, there's a reason that, you know, I'm picking on Apple, but Samsung's just as bad. You know, Samsung phone will still run you $1,000 easily. So I refused to be part of that. I mean, I use my phone to like text message every once in a while and to make phone calls when necessary, and that's about it. I need it to run some basic ass apps, and that's it. And it does that. This phone that I got for $200 does that just fine, and I got that thing on sale, $100 off. That works good for me. Well, you guys joined me for my whole ride to the gym. Looks like it takes me about 16 minutes. I didn't even know that. It took me 16 minutes from pulling out to pulling into the gym parking lot. It's good to know. I thought it took about 20 minutes. I never really timed it before. I hope this one wasn't too boring. I hope somebody could get something out of it. Without being too sappy, you know. Here is to a good 2020 for everyone. I've said this before, and I will hopefully reiterate it a lot of times, but let's just all be nice to each other. Just be nice to each other. Stop fighting for no reason. You know, stop picking teams. Stop getting mad at someone just because they're not on the same team as you. You know, let's all talk. Let's have a good year. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you all for watching.